Hello and welcome to Bright Minds Academy. I'm truly delighted that you are here. Here, you will find step-by-step tutorials, ICT and computer studies lessons, accounting and QuickBooks training, KNEC past papers and their discussions, and welcome abroad, and let's get started. So for today, we are going to perform a task that was done on the year 2021 by the November series candidates, and this is the paper. Don't know if it's visible. So this is the paper. This is the paper that was performed by the November series students in the year 2021. That was the diploma module 2, and we will be performing it from step number 1 in our QuickBooks Enterprise Solutions. Our question is: Technical System Limited of PO Box 30780 00200 Nairobi provides telecommunication services to diverse clients in Kenya. Record the following financial details and transactions of the company for the year starting 1st July 2020 using an accounting program. So the accounting program that we are going to use is QuickBooks Enterprise Solution. Be using QuickBooks, and now we can create our company name. You start by clicking here. Today I'm going to show you step by step to follow when creating. So then express that our company name is Technical System Limited. Then the industry where our company lies the telecommunication. So we can choose you can either choose this or we can choose information and technology. Okay, then the company type, you can say it's a past partnership, then continue. The address, it's PO Box 30780 00200 200. The city is Nairobi. The postal code 00200. Then the country is Kenya. Then since we are using Kenya as the country, we are going to change the currency to appear in Kenyan shillings. I'm going to show you the steps for changing that once our company file is saved. Give it time. Let's give it time. Then this is now we start by setting the transactions financial year, that was 2020 July. Then we create our chart of account. Start working. Let's set the physical year. That is company information. Then we made a mistake here, so we change this to July, and this to July. Then okay. Then we want to change the currency into Kenyan shillings. Or you go to edit, preferences, then on this section, that is multiple currencies, and company preference. Then do you want to track currencies in this company file? How do you want to track them? There is an option that says no, I use only one currency. Then yes, I use more than one currency. So we can change this to yes, I can use more than one currency. Then on this section we can change view more currencies. We want Kenyan shilling. Yes, then make it active. Okay, then save it. Okay, now it's saving our currency. Okay, now we can create our charts of account. Now as you can see, our currency is now in Kenyan shillings. That's how we set it. We are now creating the charts of account. We add new account. These are fixed assets. Our first item or our first account is premises. The opening balance is 42,502,000. 42,502,000 as of the start of July 2020. Next account is telecommunication equipment. The opening balance is 800,206,800,000 as of the start of 1st of July 2020. Then we save. Next account is a fixed account known as motor vehicles. The opening balance is 76,200,000. Then as the start of 1st of July 2020, then we save it. New, we have another account known as fixtures with an opening balance of 100,116,000. 100,116,000 at the start of 1st of July 2020. Then we can save and new or save and close. Then we open new account. We create, then save and new. Yes. Then on this edge here, we can change the account type to bank. Our account name is bank. How is the name of our bank? It's GTI Bank. GTI Bank. With an opening balance of a credit of 502,300,000. A credit of 502,300,000. The starting date, then okay, then we can save and new, then save and new, and we have another account known as cash, which lies under account type bank. The opening balance is the opening balance is 81,000,500. 81,000,500. 81,500 at the start of. Okay, then we can now save and close. Yes, now we have opening balance sheet, opening balance. Then we have creditors and debtors. So creditors are our vendors, then debtors are our customers. We can now create customers or create vendors, create vendors or creditors. And our first vendor is Uwezi Technologies Limited. Uwezi Limited will start off. Then the opening balance 121,900,000. Okay, yes, we have another vendor known as Microwave and Frequencies Limited. As the start of 1st of July 2020, the opening balance is 52,800,000. Don't know if it was zero now. Okay, we are now done. We are now done with our vendors. We can create customers. Customer number one. We have customer number one is Fiber Technologies Limited and Quality Telecom Limited. We have Fiber Limited at the start of 1st of July 2020, and the opening balance was 7,110,000. Yes, then we have another customer named Quality Telecom Limited. The opening balance was 3,052,200. Then the starting date then we are now set. Then next we are required to do transactions for the month of July 2020. On 1st of July, we bought telecommunication equipment worth 350 million Kenyan shillings from Uwezi Technologies on credit. So we are going to enter a bill. Enter bill. Vendor, our vendor is Uwezi. Then we start off that date. Then what did we purchase? We purchased telecommunication equipment. Okay. Worth 350 million. Yeah. Then we can now then remember the amount that we took was a credit. Yes. Then save and close. And on July 4th, we paid a salary advance worth 2,185,000 by cash. So we are going to write a check for that salary advance. Write check. We use the cash. Then what were we paying order of? Salaries, advances. Card. And this is for employees. Expense account is salaries. This is an expense. Okay. Then how much did we pay? 2,185,000 Kenyan shillings. So we write a check. Let's see and close. On July 8th, provided data services to Kawi Estate worth 4,084,000. So on this, we are going to create an invoice to Kawi Estate Limited. I'm going to create an invoice to Kawi Estate Limited worth 4,084,000. Going to create an invoice. To Kawi. So we don't have that customer. So we are going to add Kawi Estates. Kawi Estate Limited. As from which date? Okay. Which date? That was July 8th. What did we offer? We provided data services. So this is an income that we are getting from that. so it's a service. Then here it's income. Okay, then the amount that we sold them on was 4,084,000. Then we can save and close. Then on July 9th, Telecom Techniques Limited provided telecommunication equipment maintenance services on credit worth 4,020,000. So on this we are going to render a bill because Telecom Techniques are the ones who provided the service for us. Then we took it on credit, so we render a bill. We are rendering a bill to Telecom Techniques. Telecom Techniques Limited. So this one's on July. Okay, July 9th. How did we buy telecommunication equipment maintenance service? What is, we can say maintenance services. So this is an expense. Okay, and it was worth 4,020,000. Yeah, then save and close. Then the next transaction we did was on July 14th. We invoiced DB Financial Services for voice calls worth 9,900,000. We invoiced, so we are going to create an invoice. So that customer is not in our list, so we are going to add DB Financial Services Limited. That was on July 14th. For which services? That was voice call services. Then the amount, yes, an income. Okay, the amount was 3,900,000. Save and close. We are done with that invoice. Then next, on July 21st, we made the cash sales for the month. That was voice calls, SMS services, and data services. So on this, we are going to create receipts or cash sales. I'm going to create sales receipts. Under sales receipts, that is payment was through cash, and the item number 1 was voice call services, was amount of 80,900,000, and item number 2 was SMS services. This is an income. This is an income worth 45. Worth 20,300,000. 20,300,000. Then we have another item, that is data services. Worth 45,230,000. Other than 250. Then close. On July 21st, we paid, so we are going to write checks because we paid by cash. We're going to write checks. I'm going to write check for expenses. Order of, you can say expenses. Okay. Then our expense number 1 was salaries, totaling amount of 48,500,000. And item number 2 was telephone expenses. Worth 8,400,000. Then account number 3 was telecom equipment maintenance, so we wrote it as maintenance services. Worth 20,240,000. So this is the total amount, and end close. On July 24th, we received a check worth 6 million from fiber technologies. So we are going to receive a payment. We are receiving a payment. Receive payment from fiber technologies. Fiber technologies. Yes. Then how much did we receive? We received 6 million. The payment method was through a check, and it was on date 24th, and we save and close. Then the next step, on July 25th, we invoiced KNEC Telecom Limited 3 million for voice calls. We create an invoice. We invoiced KNEC Telecom the services which we invoiced them were voice call services worth voice call services worth 3 million. Then it was on date 25th. Yes, and can save and close. The next step, that was on the next transaction, was done on July 26th. We received an invoice from Microwave and Frequencies Limited worth 20,600,000 for telecom. So on this we are going to enter a bill. Entering a bill for Microwave and Frequencies Limited, date 26th. Then the account that was Telecom receiver. Telecom receiver. This is an expense because we bought them. That was on date 26th. Amount we paid was 20,600,000. 20,600,000. Yeah. So that is the amount that we paid. And can save and close. Next transaction was done on July 28th. We acquired 3 5G transmitters from Mwezi worth 265 million on credit. So each costs 265 million. So we are going to enter a bill. Bills. We pay the Wezi Technologies. The date was 28th. Transmitters. Setup. Yes. Okay. Then the amount we are going to multiply, because the item that we took was worth 265 million. We are going to multiply it by 3, because we took 3 transmitters. It will be 785 million. 785 million. Yeah. Then 7 loss. Then the next transaction was done on July 29th. July 29th, we paid Wezi Technologies. So we are going to write a check. We received a check, so it went to this account, Bank GTI. The date is 29th. Account expense. Pay the order of Wezi. So we can pay bills. And this date, what amount are we paying? We are paying amount to pay. It's 52,800,000, and we are paying through check. We paid on 29th. Yes, then we can pay that bill. Yes, we can also pay more bills. We pay microwave. Amount we are paying is 52. So we paid the full amount. Pay selected bill. Yes, and we are done with paying bills for that day. On July 31st, we made payments through through check. We paid for rent, then power and fuel. So on this we are going to write checks. We are going to write checks using the bank account. I'm paying for expenses. And for expenses, date 31st. Account number 1, we are paying for rent expense amounting, the amount is 6 million. Amount is 6,405,800. 6,105,800. Then in the same, we paid for power and fuel. That is an expense. Power and fuel expenses. Yes, set up. It's an expense. Okay. Second clause. The amount is 4,302,000. 4,302,000. And then we can pay them. Okay. Then next item, what we are going to do, we are going to generate and print each of the following reports: the opening sheet, the cash flow statement, and trial balance. So we go to reports. We want to generate the opening balance. Then cash flows and trial balances. Here we have the trial balance. Then we have produced is at 31st of July. 31st of July. It was 2020. 31st of July. Okay, so this is the trial balance is at July 31st, 2020. You can see the debit and the credit are equal. Create the cash flows. As for July, so that is for the whole month. So we feed this to as 31st, that is 2020. The cash at the end of the period was this one. So it is the first and last item we are creating, or report we are creating, come up in the balance sheet. sheets as of first 2020. So this is the opening balance for 2020. Then because we are told we print, so for us we are not printing. This is the procedure to print. How many pages do we want? Just we only want one paper. Then want to print, we save in the opening. Balance sheet, can save. Then we are printing on paper, we can print. Then we have another one, statement of cash flows. If you want to print, you can print. Can print the report, can preview. This is how statement of cash flows will be. Then we have another report. We've got another report, the trial balance. If you want to print, you can either print using this. Then let's preview it. This is our trial balance as of July 31st, 2020. The debit and the credit are equal, and then you can print as the examiner wants. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now we are done with our question. That was very simple. We've tackled everything, and thank you for being part of this amazing class. If you're not subscribe. You can like, comment and share, and tell me what you want next from me, so that we can learn. Yeah, then let's meet in our next video. Thank you and bye bye.